January 2025. The new year had barely begun when the skies above Los Angeles turned a terrifying shade of orange. Wildfires, fueled by strong Santa Ana winds and dry conditions, erupted across the region, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. The idyllic landscape of Southern California, known for its sunshine and celebrity mansions, was scarred by flames that seemed to consume everything in their path. Two fires in particular etched their names into the city's history: the Palisades Fire and the Eaton Fire. These infernos would test the limits of human resilience, but also reveal the extraordinary strength and compassion that reside within a community united by disaster. The fires seemed to erupt from nowhere, small flickers on the horizon quickly growing into raging infernos. Driven by the relentless Santa Ana winds, the flames jumped canyons and freeways, leaving a trail of charred earth and shattered lives in their wake. The air, thick with smoke and the acrid smell of burning, became difficult to breathe, a constant reminder of the devastation unfolding across the region. As the fires raged, a sense of fear and uncertainty gripped the city. The scale of the disaster was immense. Thousands of homes were reduced to ashes, businesses destroyed, and entire communities displaced. The economic impact was staggering, with billions of dollars in property damage and lost revenue. But beyond the financial cost was the human toll, the lives lost, the families torn apart, and the emotional scars that would take years to heal. In the face of such overwhelming adversity, the people of Los Angeles faced a stark choice: to succumb to despair or to rise from the ashes, stronger and more united than ever before. As the fires raged, stories of incredible bravery and selflessness began to emerge. Firefighters, risking their lives to save others, battled the flames tirelessly, working around the clock to contain the blazes. Ordinary citizens became heroes overnight, opening their homes to evacuees, donating food and supplies, and offering comfort and support to those who had lost everything. The spirit of Los Angeles, often overshadowed by its glamorous facade, shone through in the darkest of times. The Palisades Fire, ignited on January 7th near the iconic Pacific Palisades, quickly transformed into a monstrous inferno. Fanned by the relentless Santa Ana winds, the firestorm swept through the dry brush and canyons, consuming everything in its path. Multi-million-dollar homes, nestled in the hills overlooking the Pacific Ocean, were reduced to smoldering ruins, their luxury offering no defense against the relentless flames. The firestorm raged for days, leaving behind a landscape of utter devastation. The Pacific Coast Highway, a scenic route that hugged the coastline, was transformed into a river of fire, the flames licking at the edges of the asphalt. The iconic Getty Center, home to priceless works of art, was threatened by the approaching inferno, its fate hanging precariously in the balance. The air, thick with smoke and ash, carried the acrid smell of burning wood and melted plastic, a constant reminder of the devastation unfolding across the region. As the firestorm raged, residents of the Palisades and surrounding communities fled for their lives, many with only the clothes on their backs. Cars, loaded down with whatever possessions could be salvaged, clogged the freeways, desperate to escape the inferno. The evacuation centers, quickly overwhelmed by the sheer number of displaced residents, struggled to provide food, shelter, and comfort to the traumatized survivors. In the face of such overwhelming destruction, the spirit of the human spirit endured. Neighbors helped neighbors, offering comfort and support to those who had lost everything. Volunteers flocked to the evacuation centers, bringing food, clothing, and other essential supplies. The outpouring of compassion and generosity was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest of times. North of Pasadena, the Eaton Fire, also ignited on January 7th, carved its own path of destruction through the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains. Fueled by dry brush and driven by the relentless Santa Ana winds, the firestorm raced through the canyons, threatening homes and businesses in its path. The fire quickly grew to an unmanageable size, charring thousands of acres and forcing the evacuation of entire communities. The firestorm raged through the canyons, leaving behind a trail of blackened trees and smoldering ruins. The air, thick with smoke and ash, made it difficult to breathe, and the intense heat made it feel as if the air itself was on fire. The fire jumped roads and fire breaks, seemingly unstoppable in its relentless advance. The communities of Altadena and Pasadena, nestled in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains, were particularly hard hit by the Eaton fire. Homes, many passed down through generations, were reduced to ashes in a matter of hours. Businesses, the lifeblood of the community, were destroyed, leaving residents with an uncertain future. Amidst the devastation, stories of heroism and resilience emerged. Firefighters, risking their lives to save others, battled the inferno tirelessly, working day and night to protect homes and businesses. Ordinary citizens, transformed into heroes overnight, opened their homes to evacuees, providing food, shelter, and comfort to those in need. The spirit of community, often hidden in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, shone brightly in the face of adversity. As the smoke began to clear and the full extent of the devastation became apparent, the true cost of the January 2025 wildfires came into sharp focus. The official death toll stood at a heart-wrenching 27, each life lost representing a story cut tragically short. The missing persons reports, numbering 31 at the height of the disaster, added another layer of anguish to an already devastated community, the agonizing wait for news unbearable for families desperate for answers. The stories of those lost in the fires were as diverse as the city itself. Jeffrey Takayama, a 69-year-old retired teacher, died trying to save his beloved dog from his burning home. Randall Meode, a young father of two, passed away while assisting with evacuation efforts in his neighborhood. Each life lost left an unfillable void in the lives of those left behind. The search for the missing continued, even as hope began to dwindle with each passing day. Kevin Devine, a substitute teacher known for his infectious laugh and dedication to his students, disappeared after his home was consumed by the flames. Search and rescue teams, aided by cadaver dogs, combed through the rubble, their efforts hampered by the sheer scale of the devastation. The emotional toll of the wildfires extended far beyond the immediate victims. Thousands of residents, their homes and businesses destroyed, grappled with the overwhelming task of rebuilding their lives from scratch. The trauma of the experience, the loss of loved ones, and the uncertainty of the future left deep scars on the psyche of the community. The scale of the disaster triggered a mass exodus from the affected areas, as over 170,000 residents were placed under evacuation orders. The normally bustling streets of Los Angeles were transformed into eerie ghost towns as residents heeded the warnings and fled for their lives. The freeways, typically clogged with traffic, became escape routes, choked with cars loaded down with whatever possessions could be salvaged. The evacuation centers, hastily set up in schools, community centers, and churches, were quickly overwhelmed by the sheer number of displaced residents. Families huddled together on cots and air mattresses, their faces etched with exhaustion and worry, as they anxiously awaited news about their homes and loved ones. The resources of the city were stretched to the breaking point, as officials struggled to provide food, water, shelter, and medical attention to the growing number of evacuees. The evacuation orders, while necessary to protect lives, added another layer of stress and uncertainty to an already chaotic situation. Many residents, forced to leave their homes with little more than the clothes on their backs, had no idea when or if they would be able to return. The uncertainty of the situation weighed heavily on their minds, as they grappled with the possibility that everything they had worked for was gone. The mass displacement of residents had a ripple effect throughout the region. Schools were closed, businesses shuttered, and the normally vibrant life of Los Angeles ground to a halt. The economic impact of the wildfires was staggering, with billions of dollars in property damage and lost revenue. The road to recovery, it was clear, would be long and arduous. Section 6. Battling a Raging Beast. The January 2025 wildfires presented an unprecedented challenge to firefighters, pushing them to the limits of their physical and mental endurance. Over 5,000 firefighters from across California and beyond converged on Los Angeles, united in their determination to quell the inferno. They worked tirelessly, day and night, battling the flames, often in treacherous and unpredictable conditions. The firefighters faced a formidable foe, as the wildfires, fueled by dry brush and driven by the relentless Santa Ana winds, seemed unstoppable. The flames jumped roads and fire breaks, threatening homes and businesses in their path. The intense heat, thick smoke, and steep terrain made their task even more challenging, testing their skills and resolve to the limit. Despite the dangers, the firefighters pressed on, their courage and dedication unwavering. They utilized every tool at their disposal, from bulldozers and helicopters to hand tools and hoses, to contain the blaze and protect lives and property. They risked their lives to save others, their bravery an inspiration to all who witnessed their efforts. The international community responded to the crisis with an outpouring of support. Firefighting teams from Israel, Canada, and Mexico arrived in Los Angeles, bringing with them specialized equipment and expertise. Their presence not only provided much-needed manpower, but also served as a reminder that the world stood in solidarity with the people of Los Angeles. Section 7. Picking up the pieces. In the aftermath of the January 2025 wildfires, the long and arduous process of recovery began. The scale of the devastation was immense, with thousands of homes destroyed, businesses ruined, and entire communities displaced. The road ahead would be long and challenging, but the spirit of Los Angeles, known for its resilience and determination, shone through in the face of adversity. The immediate priority was to provide shelter, food, and medical attention to the thousands of residents displaced by the fires. The evacuation centers, initially overwhelmed by the sheer number of people seeking refuge, gradually transitioned into temporary housing facilities, offering a semblance of normalcy to those who had lost everything. The federal government, recognizing the magnitude of the disaster, declared a state of emergency, freeing up funds and resources for recovery efforts. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, established a presence in Los Angeles, providing financial assistance to individuals and families affected by the fires. The Small Business Administration, or SBA, offered low-interest loans to businesses damaged or destroyed by the disaster. The task of rebuilding the communities devastated by the wildfires would be immense. The debris removal process alone, involving the clearing of thousands of tons of ash, rubble, and hazardous materials, would take months, if not years, to complete. The reconstruction of homes and businesses, hampered by insurance claims, building permits, and a shortage of construction materials, would be a long and frustrating process for many. Section 8. The Spirit of Los Angeles. Amidst the devastation and despair, the spirit of Los Angeles shone brightly. The city, known for its diversity, creativity, and resilience, came together in the face of adversity, demonstrating the power of human compassion and the strength of community. From the ashes of the wildfires emerged countless stories of heroism, generosity, and unwavering hope. Ordinary citizens became heroes overnight, opening their homes to evacuees, volunteering at relief centers, and donating food, clothing, and other essential supplies. Celebrities used their platform to raise awareness, donate money, and organize fundraising events. The entertainment industry rallied around the cause, with musicians holding benefit concerts and actors visiting evacuation centers to offer comfort and support. The outpouring of support extended far beyond the borders of Los Angeles. Donations poured in from across the country and around the world, a testament to the human capacity for empathy and solidarity. Volunteers flocked to the affected areas, offering their time, skills, and compassion to those in need. The January 2025 wildfires may have tested the spirit of Los Angeles, but they also revealed its indomitable strength. In the face of unimaginable loss, the community came together, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope and humanity can prevail. Section 9. From the Ashes. As the initial shock and grief subsided, the people of Los Angeles began the long and arduous task of rebuilding their lives and communities. The road ahead would be long and challenging, but the spirit of resilience, so characteristic of the city, gave them the strength to move forward. The January 2025 wildfires may have left their mark on the landscape and psyche of Los Angeles, but they also served as a catalyst for renewal and growth. The rebuilding process would be about more than just bricks and mortar. It would be about rebuilding lives, restoring communities, and healing the emotional scars left by the disaster. It would be about learning from the past, adapting to a changing climate, and creating a more resilient future for generations to come. The wildfires served as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the importance of community. They demonstrated that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the human spirit can endure. They showed the world that Los Angeles, the city of angels, was more than just a collection of star-studded neighborhoods and iconic landmarks. It was a city with a heart, a soul, and an unyielding spirit that refused to be broken. From the ashes of the January 2025 wildfires, a new Los Angeles would emerge, stronger, more resilient, and more united than ever before. It would be a city that honored the memory of those lost, celebrated the heroism of those who served, and embraced the future with hope and determination.